People try to remember and learn many things, but they forget to learn about themselves. They forget to learn about what values to hold. They get lost in the crowd. They get lost in the information overload.
Hello everyone, welcome to Game of Life. My name is Rosemary. I have Debang Shukla with me and we will be discussing mind. Okay. Contentment of mind affords comfort. I like that.
I think this is very important, and we have discussed many examples.
A lot, yes.
Like the car example, you have one car, you like second car, the third car. Without contentment, you have gone into a journey of greed and scarcity. Even if you have 4 cars, you feel you are scarce.
Both contentment and continence bestow tranquility.
So this is very important. Contentment and continence, self-control over desires, emotions, temperance in emotions. You will be having tranquility.
Learn the lore, the wisdom, and burn the ore, the mind.
So this is very important. Learn the lore means the body of language or traditions that continue. The wisdom that is carried from generations to generations. And burn the ore. The mind means make your mind disciplined. But you can see burning the ore has another meaning. It can be like purify your mind. When you burn anything, it purifies.
How do you purify your mind?
Like you purify the gold. If there is a ore, if you burn, it glitters with the purity of gold. So how do you burn your mind? Is don't allow your mind to sway away with the distractions. Don't allow distractions. Generate the peace and energy. And then allow the mind to flow in a direction which will give you perfection.
And it's also important not to be too hard on yourself.
Very
right?
correct. Very correct.
The most important thing is you have to capture your thoughts as they come, and then
this I think is very important for students also. Some students study hard and they get tired, and with the tired eyes, with the tired mind, they keep studying. And what happens? Nothing goes inside. You will find a student, he will say, I studied the whole night. Okay, you studied the whole night is to satisfy your ego or emotional satisfaction. Really, you have not learned. So what is very important is understand the mind. It is like a horse. You made the horse to run, but don't make it so tired that it stops working.
yeah.
Make it work, relax, introspect, relax a bit. Say to your mind, hey, you did very good job.
I like that.
Instead of saying or making it fearful, no, tomorrow is the exam, you need to push. Don't do that. Just say, you did a good job. Let's take some break.
Self-encouragement. Synthesize the synthesis to the self-instinct in order to achieve the mind of the moral sanctity.
So mind of moral sanctity is a very important stage in the ascension of mind. Mind of moral sanctity is very close to Godhood itself. So how to reach to that stage is, he says, synthesize the synthesis, means the moral conscience. If you are morally, ethically correct, then the instinctive thoughts, the animalistic thoughts will slowly change.
How do you train your mind to become morally correct, especially when you're exposed to a world as ours, where people are just wild, they're just profane, they're just How then do you develop that ability to have a moral mind?
See, what has happened is, in the way of work, in the digital overload, people try to remember and learn many things, but they forget to learn about themselves. They forget to learn about what values to hold. They get lost in the crowd. They get lost in the information overload.
So people are taking up mastery in the wrong things.
Yes.
First learn yourself. Be a master of yourself.
Yes, and when you do mastery over wrong things, what will happen?
Pollute everyone.
It's not polluting everyone. My interest is growth of every person who goes through this set of knowledge. So imagine I have two set of seeds. One set of seeds is of wheat or rice, and one set of seeds is poisonous and thorns. If I sow the poisonous and thorn, what will I get? As a farmer, give me the answer. So if you take on this pollution, you are polluting the world is another part. But what is that you will get as a person? You will get a disturbed state of mind. You will get a disturbed relationship. You cannot prosper and grow in a holistic way. Leave the world. The world will take care of itself. Even if you pollute, there can be people who can be disciplined and not affected by you.
Even in the Bible, I may be out of context, but I just want to say there's a verse in the Bible that talks about if you go ahead to chase the world, you will lose yourself. You will lose your soul.
Yes.
The appearance and the approachment are the individual aspects of the body and mind. Diversity is the cause for it.
So appearance and the approachment. Appearance means how I look, what color choices I have, and how do I approach things, which is my mindset. They are diverse. They are individual to every person. And he says diversity is the cause of it because his concept is unity in diversity. So there is one factor, the divine factor, which doesn't change, and diversity is there in the nature. That's a reality. Even within the same house, if you have twins, they will have diverse outlooks and choices.
Yeah. The speculum of the psychology reflects and reveals the spectrum and the curriculum of the subconsciousness.
So what he is saying is how your psychology reflects. Speculum means the reflective instrument. So how does the psychology reflect? He says there is a big range of experiences, thoughts, emotions, and they get registered in the subconscious. And because of that, every person behaves differently.
Reverie reverses the attention of the mind to the tension of the talent.
So reverie means daydreaming, imagining. If I am Sylvester Stallone, imagining I will walk like this heroine in my marriage. What is this? It's a reverie. It reverses the attention of the mind to the tension of talent. So whatever you have the talent, you ignore your own talent and you strain your mind because of the reverie, daydreaming.
Basically, when you're out there busy in the world of just wishful thinking, actually reverses the attention of your mind, where you could have been focused on something more productive, but you decide to be focused on wishful thinking.
So instead of focusing on yourself, your talents, nurturing and growing further, you spend the time outside you in daydreaming.
Which is a waste of time.
Which is a waste of time.
The senility is a surveillance servility. It has a deniable and deplorable dignity. It projects itself as a dejected and rejected stuff of murmurous monologue of agony. For all that provide a cordial clemency and let them not go to their plight. That feels like a lot of words.
So it's basically talking of the old age where the mind has deteriorated. The mental, physical deterioration of old age is the senility. Is a surveillant servility, means you are watchful. Because you are old, you are always watchful, and your dignity, everything finally goes down, he is saying, because you are not able to do many things which you used to do. What he says is there is a murmur going. Monologue murmur means you may have found some old people always murmuring. oh, this cold is not working, oh, this is not, so there is always monologue, a one-sided murmur, a one-sided pain, agony. So what he says is, for all that provide the cordial clemency and let them not to go to their plight, means don't reject them, leave them, have mercy with them, live with them, understand their pain point, support them, he's saying, because this is how this happens.
Beware of senses and their greed and grief. Aware of the divine consciousness and alert the intellect to be an intuitive self by means of the introspection.
So this is the hardcore concept, introspection, intuitive self. So whenever you will do introspection, self-reflection, you will use your intuition, will also come into picture. And beware of the senses and the greed and grief. So know how your mind is working, why you have that particular kind of thought, what are the circumstances that brings your thought. Like imagine when you are sitting in a particular office, you get a thought for sugar, but when you are at home, you are watching TV, you don't get. So why do I get thought of sugar? Probably the sugar products are nearby. If you change it then. So that kind of introspection is very important.
Or you've just attached an activity to the food, like codependency, right?
Yes, it is possible.
It's very possible. So I think that as adults, there's something a friend always says, and which is true. As adults, we need to realize that every action, even the actions that we don't take, has a reaction, right? So if you had the thought, let's use the sugar example, let's say you're diabetic and you have the thought to drink soda and you don't capture that thought properly, maybe just, you might go back to take the soda because you didn't capture the thought, you didn't say, to yourself, okay, I have this urge to drink soda, but I remember that it's not good for my health. So it is very important to know that as adults, every action, either taken or not taken, has a reaction.
So this exactly I did one analysis. At various times when I am traveling, I am there is a time when I get a thought of having sweet soda, or I check in the fridge, do I have a chocolate? And then I found out that when my sugar level is high, that kind of thoughts come. So first is analysis. Why this thought is coming? Only this kind of thought, why it is coming? What are the factors? And then I said, okay, if this is high, I know now, this is the symptom. So take something like, you can say, some other products which is less sugary, which can also bring your sugar levels down. Like cucumber. Celebrate with cucumber.
Concept the precept of the concept well. Then insert the inception into practice.
So I think this is very important, that understanding solves many problems. So if you don't understand the concept, then implementation is also a challenge. But if you understand the concept very well, half of the job is over. Then inserting in practice is the remaining part which can help you to succeed.
The sensory feeling of the sensorium and its presumption that deals with the intellect is an abstract action. So, no place for the solidity in due form.
So, what he is saying is sensory feeling of the sensorium and its presumption. So, there are presumptions. Like I can give you example. I was sitting next to a patient who was shouting for the tooth extraction. And it happened with my wife also. So before he could even touch, my wife made such a big sound that many people ran away, and the doctor took care of all of us. And he was telling me, I did not touch even the tooth. But why you made a sound then? Because the mind tries to learn how other people are suffering and tries to put itself or cover itself or make it dirty or polluted by imagining that I am also will have the same kind of pain once you touch it.
It says that, I don't know if this is scientific, but it says that your mind can't really tell what's real and what's not. I've heard that that your mind cannot actually tell what's real and what's not. So
Yes.
let's say if you're not a confident person and then you pretend to be confident, your mind actually can't tell the difference. It's just, so if that's the case, why don't you just do what is right? Why don't you just be confident?
Okay, I will take another example which will bring more clarity. Is imagine you have gone through an accident in reality. What will happen? Before the accident, your heart will start beating more, your breath will change. And imagine you are having the same circumstance in a dream. What will happen? The heartbeat will go up, the same palpitation will happen. So the mind behaves even in a dream state same way. So this is just to give you example of this, that when we try to see others that they are in pain, and what happens? It becomes our own experience also, even though there was no fact to it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
It is ease of having been with no thought or else. Simply, what is a thought? That's it. Yeah, what is a thought?
So go further with the second sentence. That will be better.
The pensée is a tour of feelings with no seizure or leisure.
So what he is saying is, what is a thought? So what he is saying, it's a pensée. Pensée, it's a French word. Thoughts or ideas, philosophies. Is a thaw of feelings. Means it's like an ice. If you keep the ice in open, it tends to soften.
With no seizure or leisure.
With no seizure or leisure. So if you leave the mind away from the distractions, then it becomes calm. You will have lesser thoughts when you avoid the distractions. And finally, what is a thought? He's asking again and again is, thoughts are nothing but response to the stimuli. So what is a stimuli? Stimuli is an external environment or an internal environment. Internal, other thoughts or impressions, or somebody has interacted with you, for that there is a thought. But if you can calm with awareness the inside and the outside, then there is a possibility of a region, of a zone with no thought, which is a perfect and peaceful state of mind.
Occasionally, our mind swindles in a scandalous manner when it dwells in the bewilderment regarding to the objective world. This is just funny for me. Thus, it dwindles itself into merely a matter of sensorium.
So
merely a matter of sensorium.
Merely a matter of sensorium means you are driven only by the senses and sense pleasures. So what he says, occasionally the mind swindles, means it cheats you in a scandalous manner, morally wrong. When it dwells in the bewilderment, means when you are puzzled, what happens? Instead of having awareness what to do, what not to do, you surrender to the senses.
You don't even notice. Have you ever been in a position where, let's say you had a quarrel with somebody and you're thinking about it the whole day and you tell yourself, I don't want to focus on this, I'll focus on something else, maybe frying plantains. And while frying plantain, you find yourself back to, I should have said this, I shouldn't have said, like, so that's why I laugh, because the mind actually does that.
Yes,
yes.
Very
rascal. The negligence makes the intelligence ugly. The procrastination castigates the mind by masticating the progress.
Negligence makes the intelligence ugly. I think there are two aspects he's tackling here. Negligence, procrastination. So negligence makes the intelligence ugly. So of course you look odd when you know how to do but you didn't do. Procrastination means you are delaying the things. Castigates means it punishes finally the mind by masticating the progress. Means, see, progress is not a windfall gain. It is a slow and steady set of activities if you do it properly. Like growing a plant. You can't put gallons of water in a plant at one time and forget about it for 2 months. Every day, little bit of water, little bit of fertilizer, pesticide, allow it to grow over a period. But these activities, because of procrastination, what happens? You try to delay it. And then what will happen? Like chewing or grinding the thing slowly, like you are chewing a food, it grinds slowly. It grinds the progress that was there for you, the success milestone that was there for you, because there were 10 set of activities, but you said, I will do it later. I will do it later. You know, when I have pressure, suddenly I will wake up and do a magic in 2 hours. But when you are doing this set of activities, the gift, the success that is waiting for you also gets grinded. So this is very important, that if you want your progress, focus on the activities, maintain your awareness, and consistently deliver.
So it's like what we've been saying, like focus on process, not results.
Focus on process and not results. But consistency is very important.
Very key.
Yes. Some people, what they do a big bang. Like in our case also, the first episode was a very big bang. Lot of viewership. And you may have got complacent with it, and after 3-4, oh, we lost the steam. But going consistently by keeping the original objective in place without discounting the objective will make the success.
Okay, people, so we're just going to leave you with this. Always put your 1% consistently. Always put your 1% consistently. Okay, so this has been part A of Mind. Join us again next week for part B, of Mind. Thank you so much.